First, I think be more confident because you can do a lot more things than you think probably. The second is don't listen too much to what other people tell you to do and not to do, because of course they mean well and most can maybe give you some good advice, but at the end of the day you have to make decisions and then live with the consequences. And the third would be try to go out of your comfort zone more often, because it might be uncomfortable at first, but you get to gain a lot of experience from it. I'm Kim Wrede and I work as an engineer for emission measurements for TÜV Nord Umweltschutz in Essen. And Umweltschutz basically translates to pollution control or environment protection. What I like most is that you get to work in a different place almost every week, because we go to different power plants and industrial plants, so you get to meet all the different people who work there and can share their experiences and stories, while at the same time doing something to preserve our environment and help limit pollution. The biggest limitation is that the job working outside can be quite physically demanding. So you have to carry heavy equipment up to rooftops sometimes if the elevator is not working or just not there, and that can be tough. And also you need to be aware that you can control the environment conditions. During the summertime it can be nice, with nice weather outside, and then during wintertime it's going to start snowing and raining. It can be noisy, it can be dusty, you just never know. But it's not always like that. I work in air monitoring, which means that we offer emission measurements to our clients, so different power plants and industrial plants. And they are required by law to do such measurements once every 1, 2, 3 years, depending on what kind of plant it is, and to make sure that they limit their emissions to a certain value given by the government. So on a typical day of a measurement, we just have to make sure that we pack all the necessary equipment, of course. Then we drive to the client and set up the equipment at the measurement site, so basically a chimney most of the time. Then while measuring, you need to protocol certain parameters like air temperature, pressure, the volume flow inside the chimney, for example. And then in between the measurements, also make sure that the dust filter, for example, if you're measuring dust emissions, is changed, or the chemicals for other components. And then protocol everything for the report that we have to do afterwards. And then once we get the results from the laboratory on the samples, we can write the report. I think there is no such thing like one typical week, because it differs from time of the year. Because during summertime, it's mostly office work, so you get to write all the reports that you didn't get to write because you were so busy during wintertime. I mean, I've only started out working, so I've basically only worked during summertime and now starting in wintertime. And then during winter it's very busy, so we're mostly doing outside work, and then come springtime we start writing the reports more and more. Traveling is mostly limited to Germany, so maybe within a radius of 100 or 200 kilometers from here, from Essen. And then also we have a few clients in Norway, so twice every year we go to Norway for measurements for 4 weeks at a time. I grew up in Bochum and went to school there. And then in 2008 I got my Abitur and didn't really know what to do at the time, what to study. And so I went abroad for 1 year to Australia on a working holiday visa to help me decide what I wanted to do and give me some time, and also improve my English at the same time. So while working there, I did some interesting jobs, like working at a kebab shop and a carrot factory, which was interesting, but also helped me realize that I wanted to study something that's worth working in later. And I then decided to study environmental engineering, which I could do in my hometown, and I started studying in 2009. Then went on to the master's program in 2012 and decided to specialize in energy and economics. And then after I graduated from that, just last year in 2015, I started applying for jobs. And because I'd already heard about TÜV Nord as an employer, because we did a field trip with a course from uni on air quality, I decided to apply for a job there, and then actually got invited and could start the job in June 2016. Yes, I think definitely people from all sorts of backgrounds could do the job, because I have many colleagues who come from similar backgrounds, like electricians or engineers of some sort, but some are also sort of untrained on this job. But when they started out at TÜV Nord, they did a 3-year training to start the job. You need to be flexible at least, because you're definitely going to be away from home for a few days at a time, or maybe a week. So you shouldn't have a problem with that. And I think working in a team is a given in any job, so I wouldn't mention it especially for this job.